and start by experience. Welcome to the Porsche Museum. This multimedia guide is your personal companion through the exhibition. Follow the tour and start by experiencing the era of Porsche before 1948. The ingenious designer Ferdinand Porsche was already developing great cars long before the first car bore the name Porsche. His visionary projects had a decisive influence on automotive history. In the following section, Porsche after 1948, you will learn more about how a design office grew into a car manufacturer and how the name Porsche became synonymous with perfect sports car construction worldwide. Your multimedia guide works very simply. Just enter the number of an exhibit into the device and confirm by pressing the play button. The display will then show you a list from which you can choose what interests you most. You can press the question mark button at any time for more detailed operating instructions. And our members of staff will, of course, be happy to help you. All that remains is for us to wish you an inspiring stay at the Porsche Museum.
Si on parle du coccinelle, je vais à peu près 3 000 euros. Enfin, c'est pas euros, mais les marques. Il y avait une. C'était pas euros, mais les marques. Donc 3 000 marques. Et une radio qui faisait à peu près 900 marques. Donc c'est un tiers d'une voiture. D'une voiture entière. Ouais. C'est pas mal. Ouais. Et il y a un petit détail aussi sur la voiture, même si c'est sur le volant qui vous dit.
Importer Maximilian E. Hoffman prompted the launch of a lightweight version for America, the 356 Speedster. When on Sunday, sell on Monday, Porsche puts this theme into action perfectly. The extremely versatile Type 356 is successfully deployed in the American Racing Series. The same goes for the 550 Spider, which is presented in 1953. Porsche sport cars secure victory on racetracks all over the world, from Le Mans to the Carrera Panamericana and the Mille Miglia to the Nürburgring. Because of excellent reliability and systematic lightweight construction, Porsche racing cars are referred to as sharks among minnows. By the mid-50s, the Stuttgart brand has brought home more than 400 racing victories, from mountain rallies to long-distance races. And in series production, by the end of the 1950s, production has been considerably increased. Systematic further development and high quality of the vehicles are bearing fruit, laying the foundations for the next decade. You can admire some automotive dreams of the 1950s live now. Continue your tour through the Porsche Museum. Excellent reliability and systematic lightweight construction, Porsche racing cars are referred to as sharks among minnows. By the mid-50s, the Stuttgart brand has brought home more than 400 racing victories, from mountain rallies to long-distance races. And in series production, by the end of the 1950s, production has been considerably increased. Systematic further development and high quality of the vehicles are bearing fruit, laying the foundations for the next decade. You can admire some automotive dreams of the 1950s live now. Continue your tour through the Porsche Museum. The 1950s, spirit of optimism. An economic boom in the 1950s, the Wirtschaftswunder. Germany wins the World Cup in soccer and celebrates the miracle of Bern, while the world has fun and dances to rock and roll, and people start to travel again. And Porsche, the company too embraces this. Porsche 356 Coupe Ferdinand. Porsche Series series production in Zuffenhausen started small. The new car company's administration was based in a wooden site hut. The designers were based at a local inn. The assembly was handled by the experienced car body factory Reuter. During this period, Porsche's test vehicles still had names. It helped the test drivers to tell them apart day to day. There was a Windhund, a Greyhound, as well as a Gottlieb, and later a Ferdinand, the one you're looking at now. This 356, which apart from the steering wheel consists entirely of original parts, was one of the first cars produced in Zuffenhausen. It was Ferdinand Porsche's 75th birthday present from the workforce, hence the nickname. The car was handed over to the birthday boy at the Solitude Palace near Stuttgart, with many Porsche owners among the guests. The rally of the guests at the famous hunting lodge is thought to have kicked off the tradition of Porsche drivers' worldwide meets. Ferdinand Porsche, already in frail health by then, was delighted to accept his four-wheel gift. But he was only able to enjoy the car for a few months. He died shortly afterwards at the age of 75. However, his 356 lived on in the test department for many a year, where it was dubbed the test bench on wheels.
Ein Porsche, der genauso aussieht und wir
Porsche Diesel Tractor, standard 218. Why is there a tractor in the Porsche Museum? Then again, why not? What you see here is no ordinary tractor. At first glance, the standard branding may seem deceptive. This is actually a very special vehicle from the house of Porsche. At the same time as producing the Porsche 356, the company took on more special development assignments for customers in the 1950s. These included the major tractor project handled jointly with the Allgäuer Works in Uingen, a town to the east of Stuttgart. The Porsche for use in agriculture stands out on account of its design, but also because it is robust and reasonably priced. The tractor was available with a range of engines, from single-cylinder to four-cylinder. 120,000 tractors were produced, with red being the most popular color. These days, enthusiasts pay top prices for working examples. The tractor has become a cult object. The one you see here was lovingly restored over a 2-year period by youngsters from a facility for people with disabilities. Seems feasible. Everywhere things are taking off. On circuits, at rallies, at mountain races, and in long-distance motor racing. Here is where Porsche writes a new chapter in sports car history with the Type 718. After overall victories at Sebring, the Targa Florio, and the FIA European Hill Climb Championship, Porsche captures a triple victory in Formula 2 at Aintree. Ferry Porsche even agrees to enter the elite class of racing. With the Type 804, Porsche succeeds in winning its first Formula 1 victory, but yet another development is about to take off. The 917. Porsche fans are delighted. The competition is shocked. But now let's continue on our journey through space and time. The 1960s, space age. The sky's the limit in the 1960s. The world is not enough in an era that reaches for the stars. Yuri Gagarin is the first man to venture into space. Star Trek comes to television. Apollo 11 is shot into space. Neil Armstrong walks on the moon. In short, borders melt away. experience from this project is used both on the racetrack and in endurance races. In the 908, an aluminum space frame supports the plastic body, providing the same strength in a lower weight. With perforated disc brakes, ultralight magnesium and titanium components, and the new frame, the 908 tilts the scale at a mere 540 kilograms. It scores a victory in the Targa Florio on its very first try. The body weighs just 12 kilograms. Even in the 12-cylinder 917 Super Porsche, innovative engineering helps trim down the weight. A short tail with a magnesium frame weighing a third less than the aluminum frame sets a track record at Le Mans. The search for lighter and stronger materials never ends. Lightweight design makes sense, economically and environmentally. From carbon fiber composite ceramic brakes to carbon fiber reinforced plastic components and body parts, lightweight construction ensures that in a Porsche, it's always a little easier to be in the lead. The Italia, Porsche's early masterpiece. Its magnesium body is way ahead of its time. Its history shows that it's not easy to be a winner in motorsports, but a lightweight design makes it a lot easier. At Porsche, this fact is recognized early on, and lightweight design becomes the approach of choice. Porsche Type 597, Jagdwagen. Only 71 units of the first all-wheel drive car with Porsche in its name were ever built. The Type 597 was developed in 1953 as part of a tender for the future German armed forces. Porsche's designers built this multi-purpose vehicle in line with their familiar principles. It had to be fast, maneuverable, and lightweight. According to the brief, it had to operate reliably in water as well as on steep slopes. When it was first presented, it even pulled competitor vehicles out of the mud. The throttled four-cylinder engine from the Porsche 356 performed consistently. Ultimately, another firm won the Bundeswehr contract. But that didn't mean the end of the line for this vehicle, with its compact top-style body. It had been developed to the point where it was ready for series production. Porsche sold the vehicles that it produced as Jagdwagen, hunter's cars, for the civilian market, where this rare model found some real fans. Most of the owners are members of the Porsche Jagdwagen registry, probably the world's smallest Porsche club.
Ça, c'est juste un super cadeau.
That in a Porsche, it's always a little easier to be in the lead. The Italia, Porsche's early masterpiece. Its magnesium body is way ahead of its time. Its history shows that it's not easy to be a winner in motorsports, but a lightweight design makes it a lot easier. At Porsche, this fact is recognized early on, and lightweight design becomes the approach of choice. In the Carrera Panamericana race, the lightweight 550 Spider places third against more powerful competitors with greater engine displacement. Porsche perfects the art of lean design in production cars too. The consistent use of lightweight design compensates for lower engine power. This principle helps the young brand swiftly establish itself in the market. Legendary race cars, like the Grandmother, zoom from victory to victory. In addition to aluminum, modern industrial materials are increasingly used. The future belongs to plastics. A new generation takes the reins. FA Porsche designs the first body with this new material, though still supported by a steel box section frame. The Porsche 904 is one of the most successful and most beautiful racing cars of the 1960s. Porsche advances into a new dimension of lightweight design.
Aber der Wagenmaster ist halt trotzdem noch nicht 30 Cent. Wow.